Bonjour. Today we are going to see the imperative mood in French, l'impératif. L'emploi de l'impératif, the usage of imperative. So, for what the imperative tense or the imperative mood is used in French? First one is donner des instructions ou ordres, to give instructions or orders. Donner des conseils, to give advices. Demander quelque chose, to ask something. So, imperative tense is used in French to place an order or to place a request to someone. If you want to give some order to someone, or if you want to make a polite request, or if you want to give some advices, then you will use imperative mood in French. Usually, imperative is used in French to give some instructions, like if you are speaking about a recipe, then you will see the instructions in imperative. If you are asking for if you're asking to locate yourself in some place, then you will see the indications of your path in French. And also you see imperative in the signboards and the instruction boards or do's and don'ts in some public places such as museums, parks, gardens, etc. in French. Okay, now let's see the formation of imperative in French, la formation, how to form imperative tense in French. So the imperative tense is only for 3 subject pronouns in French, though we have several subject pronouns in French such as je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. Imperative mood is only for 3 subject pronouns in French, and they are tu, nous and vous, because I already told you imperative is used to give instructions or to give advice. So you usually give advice or give instruction to someone, or you will place a request to someone, or you will give some advice or give some instructions to a group that includes you also. That's why there is imperative mood only for these 3 subjects, tu, nous and vous. Now, how to form this imperative tense? So for forming the imperative of any verb, for the imperative of any verb, you take the verb and you conjugate it according to that subject. Then you remove the subject. And one exception is for verbs ending in er, whether it is a regular verb or irregular verb. If the verb is ending in er, you will drop the s in the conjugation corresponding to the tu form. So likewise, so you take to form the imperative of any verb, you take the verb, you conjugate it according to the subject, and you drop the subject, you will get the imperative. And only exception is for the verbs ending in er, whether it is a regular verb or irregular verb. For the verbs ending in er, you will drop the s for tu form conjugation. So likewise, the imperative form of the verb parler is parle, parlons, parler. So parle means speak, parlons, let us speak, parler is speak. I will show you another verb, aller. So aller is a irregular verb. It is ending in er, and its tu form conjugation is tu va, vas. And since it is ending in er, you are dropping that s. So va, allons, aller. Means va means go, allons let us go, aller go. Okay, so hope you are clear with the formation of imperative. I will just give you a quick recap. For any verbs to form the imperative, you take the verb, you conjugate it according to the subject, you remove the subject, you get the imperative. Only exception is for verbs ending in er, whether it is a regular verb or irregular verb, verbs ending in er, you will drop the s of the tu form conjugation. Now moving on to the imperative negative. So how to form the imperative negative? Now so far we were seeing the imperative affirmative. Moving on to the imperative negative. So the word order for forming imperative negative is ne plus conjugated form of the verb plus pas. So in that case, ne parle pas, ne parlons pas, ne parlez pas, which means don't speak, let us not speak, don't speak. Okay. And exceptions. So far we were just telling about the normal or the general formation of imperative in French, and there are certain verbs which have some exemptions or exceptional form in the imperative, and they are avoir and être. Avoir is a, ayons, aie. So a du courage, ayons du courage, ayez du courage. Have courage, let's have courage, have courage. N'ayez pas peur, don't be afraid. N'ayons pas peur, let us not be afraid. N'ayez pas peur, don't be afraid. So avoir peur is an expression. Avoir, A-V-O-I-R, avoir peur means it's an expression which means to be afraid of. And the another verb which has irregular imperative form is être. It is sois, soyons, soyez. Sois gentil, soyons gentils, soyez gentil. Sois gentil means be nice, be kind. Soyons gentils, let us be nice or kind. Soyez gentil, be nice or be kind. Ne sois pas pressé, don't be stressed. Ne soyons pas pressés, don't be in a hurry. Être pressé is an expression which means to be in a hurry. So ne sois pas pressé means don't be in a hurry. Ne soyons pas pressés, let us not be in a hurry. Ne soyez pas pressés, don't be in a hurry. Now moving on to the imperative of pronominal verbs. So pronominal verbs also form the same general format for forming imperative in French, but there is the only exemption with the se pronoun form. Okay, so for example, you are taking se ravailler. Se ravailler is a regular pronominal verb ending in er. So you will conjugate it. So you will conjugate the verb according to those three subjects, and you will remove the subject. And for tu form, you will remove the s because this is a verb ending in er. And here the only exemption is you have to place that se pronoun form also. So what happens to the se pronoun form in the imperative? The se pronoun form, we will bring it to the right hand side, separated by a hyphen and followed by an exclamation mark. And there also you have an exemption. The tu form's se pronoun form the becomes toi in the imperative affirmative. Likewise, it is réveille toi, réveillons-nous, réveillez-vous. So I will repeat. So pronominal verbs also form the general format for forming imperative in French. You will conjugate the verb according to the subject. You will remove the subject, and for tu form conjugation, since this is a verb ending in er, you will drop the s. And now for pronominal verb, you have to place the se pronoun form also. So you will bring the se pronoun form on the right hand side, separated by a hyphen, and there also you have an exemption that the turf becomes toi in the imperative affirmative. That we have to be very careful. The becomes toi in imperative affirmative form. So réveille toi, réveillons-nous, réveillez-vous. Wake up, let's wake up, wake up. And in the imperative negative, what happens? The imperative negative also you have the same word format, but the se pronoun form comes back to the original position. The se pronoun form which we have brought to the right hand side in the imperative affirmative comes back to its original position in the imperative negative, and there toi becomes the. It regains its original form. So ne te réveille pas, ne nous réveillons pas, ne vous réveillez pas. Don't wake up, let's not wake up. Ne vous réveillez pas, don't wake up. I will give you one more example. Se préparer. Se préparer means to prepare oneself. So prépare-toi, préparons-nous, préparez-vous. So here you are conjugating it according to the subject, and since it is a verb ending in er, you are dropping the s of the tu form, and you are bringing it, the se pronoun form you are bringing to the right hand side, and the becomes toi in the imperative affirmative, and in the negative the se pronoun form comes back to its original position, and the regains its original form also. So ne te prépare pas, ne nous préparons pas, ne vous préparez pas. So hope you are clear with the formation of imperative, imperative affirmative, imperative negative, and the pronominal verbs in both the imperative affirmative and imperative negative. So I already told you, like you will see this imperative used in giving instructions, orders, or general instructions, advices. So in the current, I'm going to give you an example. In the current pandemic situation, I would like to give you the instructions regarding how to keep away from this pandemic. That is what they conseil pour éviter le COVID-19. Some advices for avoiding COVID-19. They conseil pour éviter le COVID-19. Some advices for avoiding the COVID-19. And first one is lavez-vous les mains fréquemment. Wash your hands frequently. Lavez-vous les mains fréquemment. Wash your hands frequently. Éviter le contact proche. Avoid close contacts, which means maintain social distancing. Ne vous touchez pas les yeux, le nez et la bouche. Don't touch your eyes, nose and mouth. Portez le masque. Wear the mask. Restez chez vous. Remain in your house. Stay in your house. So these are very good example, and you can follow this example while understanding the formation and the usage of imperative in French. Thank you for your patient listening. Merci, merci beaucoup.